It's really exciting that mutants will finally show up in the Marvel Cinematic Universe next year. I mean, we are almost there. It's just around the corner. Some new reports say that Marvel Studios is super into bringing the X-Men into the spotlight. But there is a bit of a flip side to this excitement. In this video, we will discuss about a new X-Men movie which is going to be an X-Men vs Avengers movie in a way. Just like Captain America Civil War was executed, heroes fought over a conflict and then realized the real threat, Thanos. And then they reassembled again in the Avengers Endgame. This is how MCU is planning its next move. But here's a twist. Marvel Studios seems to have changed their plans quite a bit lately. They are putting a lot of focus on mutants because they had to let go of Jonathan Majors, who played Kang the Conqueror in the MCU. They are sort of pushing Kang to the background until the very end of the big multiverse story. Before this switch, mutants were not planned to be such a big deal in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. They were not thinking about much introducing new X-Men characters in the multiverse story. But we are still getting some of the original X-Men back in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. We have heard that Wolverine is showing up in the Deadpool. It looks like the original X-Men team might take a comeback too. There are even talks about them showing up in Avengers Secret Wars. Plus, there is a gossip about other big superheroes from old movies, just like Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man and Hugh Jackman's Wolverine. The thing is, while they are bringing back these familiar faces, they didn't have much in store for new mutant characters in the multiverse story before. Marvel seemed to be more focused on the old favorites rather than introducing fresh mutant stories, but now things are changing, and it seems like the mutants will be a big part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe future. Marvel already hinted at mutants in the MCU by labeling Wanda Maximoff as a mutant, which was also done in the comics. Plus, in the Multiverse of Madness, we got a glimpse of very comic-accurate Professor X in a cool hair. But we haven't seen the full-blown X-Men and mutants taking center stage yet. That's about to change though. In a recent article by Alex P. at CosmicCircus.com, the future of Deadpool 3 and arrival of mutants in the MCU is discussed. According to Alex P., the X-Men will make their debut in the MCU in a project called X-Men 97, expected to drop around April or May 2024. This project is a direct follow-up to the 90s animated X-Men series. This will continue the story of those X-Men after the original series ended in 1997. Now, it's not entirely clear how these X-Men connect to the larger MCU. However, they will be starting point for future X-Men stories. For instance, characters like Charles Xavier in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness and Dr. Hank McCoy in the Marvel's post-credit scene draw inspiration from the designs of the original animated series. This new series is planned to run for several seasons, and it seems they are already working on the second season. So it looks like Marvel is really gearing up to introduce the X-Men into the MCU. Exciting stuff is coming ahead. So, according to the Alex Perez, Marvel Studios is getting inspiration from the old animated series to create the look of mutants to the live-action MCU. But what about the new mutants? Don't worry, the article talks about that too. Alex says that after X-Men 97, Deadpool 3 is coming, and this movie will be likely a journey across different Marvel universes, ending up in a main MCU timeline. While Alex doesn't spill all the beans about what happens in this movie, he is sure that it will set the stage for the mutants' next step in the main MCU. He mentions that Marvel has been talking about giving mutants a bigger role in upcoming phase of the multiverse saga that they had planned at first. They are hoping to make mutants a bigger deal on Earth 616 before the multiverse saga ends. This sounds like mutants are about to have a much more significant presence in the MCU future. So here's the plan. Marvel Studios had different plans originally. They were going to have Kang appear in many different forms across the various MCU projects until we got into the big finale of Multiverse Saga, the Avengers Secret Wars. But things changed because of the situation with Jonathan Majors, who was connected with the character Kang. So now they are putting Kang on hold for a while. With all the buzz around Jonathan Majors settles down, they might recast Kang eventually, but for now, he is probably just going to appear once in Secret Wars. The good news is that Marvel is using this change to focus more on the X-Men originally. They weren't going to highlight the X-Men much until after the Multiverse Saga, but now, because Kang's plan have been put on hold, they are bringing the X-Men into the picture sooner. There are talks about the X-Men solo movie happening before Avengers Secret Wars. this movie could get fans super hyped about the MCU again, especially after the upcoming Deadpool 3. Plus, it seems like the sets up the next big story arc, which will center around the X-Men and the Fantastic Four. Exciting times are ahead for the Marvel fans. Marvel and Disney already have plans in motion following Jonathan Majors' situation. They have had about 9 months to figure things out, so they are likely pretty set on their ideas and possibly ready to have concrete plans in place. One of the exciting ideas we are considering is a mutant series on Disney+. It's similar to Marvel's What If series, where each episode could focus on a different mutant like Rogue, Cyclops, Storm, or Wolverine. That sounds really awesome and could get a lot of people excited for the show. Another idea Alex mentions is an X-Men movie under the Marvel Studios brand. This film could happen before Avengers Secret Wars. The purpose behind this could be to introduce the X-Men to audience before they join Avengers Secret Wars. This way, when the X-Men show up in Secret Wars, it won't be confusing for people who might not be familiar with them yet. It's a smart move by Marvel to make sure everything on the same page before they dive into a bigger team-up. According to a source, there are talks about an Avengers vs X-Men movie involving around the members of 616 Universe Avengers and the Fox Universe X-Men. However, this idea might be too early to discuss about because X-Men haven't really arrived in the 616 universe yet. So this Avengers vs X-Men concept might happen in the middle of the Phase 6 before Secret Wars. This will be a replica of Captain America Civil War movie. X-Men from the Fox universe will fight Avengers of the 616 universe over a conflict. It makes sense that they want to wait a bit before this big showdown, trying to fit Avengers and the X-Men meeting each other into the ongoing multiverse saga. After that, maybe they could face a threat like Kang or some other villain that forces both teams to team up to save the universe. But it seems like, based on the reports from the Alex Pierce, Kang might still be going to be a main villain for the MCU multiverse. The Avengers vs X-Men idea could be a big deal, but it might make more sense to happen before Avengers Secret Wars. There could be a conflict between the two groups, maybe about laws and how to handle situations. At some point, they might end up in a new universe and can't agree on what to do. So that's all for this video. Be sure to like the video and subscribe to Triple I TV to stay up to date with the latest MCU news.